Good morning. It's Saturday, the 12th of May, 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. Was that over there then? Did you get the shot over? No, you didn't, did you? We'll do that again. One moment, please. There we are. Good morning. It's Saturday, May the 12th, 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you, as always, from Bracknell in Berkshire. Welcome along, boys and girls. There's a reason I've got this on, of course. It's Eurovision Day today, boys and girls. Eurovision Day. Hang on a minute. We're Eurovision Day today. Yeah! Possibly the third most exciting day of the year. Fourth most exciting day of the year after Christmas Day, my birthday, Easter, then Eurovision, in that order. Oh yes. Ba 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 da 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 da. You haven't heard this bit? You don't know this bit, do you? No, you never hear this bit. Oh, it's lovely. Here it comes again. It's about 2 minutes long, that whole thing, you know. Lovely piece of music. It's called Te Deum, if you were wondering. Tedeum. That's like the Eurovision thing. You never get the whole version. Never in 1,000 years. I have to say, the one from 1983, which was from Harrogate, Ronnie Hazelhurst, who was just a fantastic composer and full of character and everything. He done his own take on it, and it was very, very good, actually. Very good indeed. It sped up a little bit more and was more glitzy, shall we say, glitzy. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on, because I've been doing a little bit more betting, boys and girls, a little bit more betting. Yesterday, after we had a chat I went for a swim, and then I posted off all those presents that I showed you to the children, you know, because it's we've got loads of birthdays coming up, great nieces and nephews, loads of birthdays, and I showed you all the stuff I bought them yesterday, and popped down to the post office. Well, our post office, my local post office, is part of a newsagent, like Martin McCole, I think it is, part of a newsagent. And so you go in the newsagent usually, and you walk past the newspapers and the sweets, and it's a bit chock-a-block in there with stuff. Not necessarily people, just stuff. It's a very small shop, and there's a lot in there. Although it's fairly neat in there. So I went down the back. All three positions were closed. Now, I don't think, ever since I've lived here, and it's been 26 years now, ever since I've lived here, I don't think I've ever seen more than two of them open at any one time. But nevertheless, today, all three were closed. And I thought, oh, anyway, I looked around at the usual checkout, and they've got a little post office counter there, just one. You know, so you got the till, where you would go and buy your sweets and crisps, and this other bit, like, tacked on the end, post office services are available here. So I don't know if they've moved that permanently from the back to that one single position there. And of course, you know what's coming next, don't you? Yes, a queue. A queue, boys and girls. A queue of 4 people, of which I spotted 3 of them had their blooming car tax in their hand. The car tax and you know you're going to be there for 15 minutes. Yeah, there's only 2 people. It's 3 people in front of me. 2. Did I say 2? Sorry, 3. There were 3 people in front of me. 2 of which were clutching in their grubby little paws their car tax stuff. And I thought, oh, for God's sake! And all I wanted to do was post this parcel. And there was one person in there who was also behind the 2 people with the car tax, and she only had a card in her hand, like a letter or something like that. So obviously she only wanted a stamp. Honestly, and the girl who's doing it, you know, another one with no personality. She had her head down like that, tapping away, tap, 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 tap. So we're in there for about 50 minutes, and I don't understand why it's always been that in post offices, hasn't it? It's always been long queues in post office. They never, ever seem to have had enough staff on. I mean, if that's not bad enough, You know, you never, ever want to go and pick something up from a sorting office on a Saturday morning. I tell you that. Our sorting office in Bracknell has got to be employing people slower than snails. You know, complete with small homes on their back probably as well. I don't know. And you go in there on a Saturday morning, certainly now at this time, 10:05, I can guarantee the queue will be out of there and round the corner, and they work at the speed of a snail. Queue, oblivious to a queue of any sort. They don't speed up behind that counter desk. And you got the sign on there, of course, please do not be abusive to our staff. Well, what do you honestly expect people to feel about your staff when they're moving at the speed of a snail? For Christ's sake, can you train them a bit better so they can work faster than snails? Honestly, awful. You would think as the queue got longer, they'd work a bit quicker. Oh, no, no, no. There's one miserable old git in there. You know, he's got his glasses on and he shuffles around here. He shuffle. You're waiting for your parcel to be collected, dear. You know, possibly an item from Amazon or something like that. Fortunately, with Amazon, they do take a bit of a risk, don't they? I have a safe place. Do you know all the youngsters have safe places now? Did you know this? Oh no, this is a safe place. This is a safe place. We can be anything we want. I don't know what the hell all that's about. What are they teaching people in universities? And you're paying £9,000 a term for that, ain't you? You're paying £9,000 a term to be taught rubbish, basically. Waste of time going to universities. Anyway, so they shuffle around in this post office. You never, ever get out of there within half an hour. Oh, it's terrible. Terrible. And it's like a morgue. It's like a morgue waiting in a post office queue. There they are, heads down on their phones, tap, tap, tap. It's silent in there. And God behold you if you ever decide to try and open up a conversation with someone, unless they're elderly. If there's someone elderly in there and you're bored standing in the queue, looking at the miserable, sour faces, looking down at their blooming phones, then open a conversation with them. Don't try it with someone young, especially not a young lady. Do not try and open a conversation. She will look at you like you are scum. I'm telling you that, absolutely. You know I'm true. You know this is true. She will look at you as if you're absolute scum if you start trying to talk to someone you don't know in that queue. Don't bother with anyone under the age of 40. Under the age of 40. Don't bother trying to open a conversation. They will have their head down there in their mobile phone. Find someone elderly. Oh, another queue in here again. And open the conversation, you know. Oh, another queue in here again then. And it will just flow. You want someone old to talk to. Don't bother with someone under the age of 40. They won't be interested. They will just sit there. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Not interested in talking to you. Absolutely not interested. So I did. So there we are. Eventually I got to the post office and I didn't bother buying a box or anything like that for the gifts or a special bag. It was my sister who told me this. I said, I need to get a box. She said, oh, don't bother with that. She said, what is it? I said, well, it's clothes and a box of Lego. She said, get yourself a bin bag, wrap it around that a few times, tape it up and take it into the post office like that. Don't waste money on boxes. So that's exactly what I did. I've got some very large bin bags out of I mean, I didn't lead a massive one, but I've only got those. I've got large bin bags that I bought off Amazon for my green wheelie bin. Because I like to keep the green wheelie bin clean. You know, there is some ghastly wheelie bins out there when I put mine together with them on a Monday morning. We have ours collected every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, they collect the non-recyclable stuff. And on the other week, they collect the recyclable stuff. Okay? And that's how it works. That's how it works. And I like to keep my wheelie bin clean. So I've got wheelie bin liners. Oh, yes. Amazon. And you buy like, I don't know, 50 or 100, something like 25, 20 quid or something like that. I can't remember how much they were. But I've had them over a year now and there's still loads and loads left. That's what I do. Because I like a clean wheelie bin. There's some really dirty wheelie bins that get left up there on the corner. Oh, maggots and everything crawling around, flies. Not in my wheelie bin. It is pristine. Pristine. There is a bloke who comes round and cleans wheelie bins. But it's like £5, dear. £5 to stick a hose down your wheelie bin and give it a clean. I can do that myself. Well, I do. People are so lazy. Do you remember when we used to wash our own cars? I mean, admittedly, I don't do that anymore. I take it to the foreign boys. They work just up on the road that leads down to the M3. There's a little place within the BP garage, and I go in there, and all these gorgeous foreign boys, some old gits as well. Excuse me, can we have the young ones working on my car, please? Not him. I don't want him. That pretty one there. I'll have him. And there they are, climbing all over your car. And you can see their little bulging muscles in their T-shirts. Sometimes it's ever so cold outside, I feel sorry for them. And I want to invite them into my car for a warm-up. And believe me, I will warm them up. Unfortunately, not many of them speak English, but that's neither here. I've got people to talk to. I've got you to talk to. Don't need to talk to them. Like to watch them. Climbing all over the car. In the summer, sometimes they wear vests. Tattoos and everything. Oh, it's too much. It really is. All for the sake of just £10. £10! But I do like to clean out my own wheelie bin. And I do it several times a year. Usually not in the winter. Because there's some dirty, disgusting wheelie bins. Have you got a dirty wheelie bin? I hope you keep yours clean. Not having all that scum down the side of it. Bits of dinner and flies coming out. Oh, God. So I have a clean wheelie bin. I'm very pleased to say. Good. Right, let's do some of your messages this morning. Who was first in with a message? Good morning, Adam the plumber. You're first there today. Good morning. There's no one on YouTube this morning. They haven't got up yet on a Saturday, have they, I suppose? Morning, Adam. Good morning to Alan Russell, who turned up very late last night. You did make me laugh last night, Alan. He's a good sort. Morning, Alan. Morning, Diane. Andy Baker's there. Good morning to Wayne Martin. Do you have your car cleaned there, Wayne, at the place where all the behind the BP garage? It's only £10. It's not bad, is it? But I remember cleaning my own car. I was never... I mean, I didn't mind so much washing it. It was the drying. I couldn't be bothered to dry it with that blooming leather thing and that... Oh, okay. Used to get my nerves. I used to take it down the Sainsbury's automatic car washing thing, but I didn't find it did it very well. There's always a bit of dirt somewhere or something like that. Plus, you have to go into the Sainsbury's filling station. Oh, and I hate going in there. I absolutely hate going in the Sainsbury's petrol filling station at the top of Bracknell. They are so miserable in there. And you can have a queue of 20 people in there. There'd be one person on the till and the rest is, oh, we've got to stack the shelves. Oh, there's a queue. Well, I've got to stack the shelves. It's like a bit like that in there. No personality. No atmosphere in there. And miserable customers. Queuing up a mile long coming out there. Great big fat things, choosing another 5 bars of chocolate and another 10 bags of crisps while they're there paying for their petrol. Ghastly people, dear, ghastly. You don't get that in the Esso or the BP, I tell you. That's where I go. I go to the Esso place, which is in just as you come off the M3 and you go onto the A30. Now, there's a place, and you have to come off the main road to get to it, but you can see it. It's only just off. But they've been doing a roundabout there. They're redoing this roundabout. As I say, you come off the M25, you go round a roundabout and go onto the A30, right? But they're doing up the roundabout. I don't know what they're doing to it. But for weeks, this little road that goes to the petrol station, which you can see, has been closed off. They're doing something to it. Now, how many weeks does it take to resurface a small piece of road? And every Friday night, the last 4 weeks, I haven't been able to get to this petrol station because that bit's closed off. You can come that way, but you can't get to it. Now, to get to it, you've got to go somehow all the way around the back. And I don't know how to do it. I tried once and I gave up in the end because I couldn't find out how to do it. And of course, no diversion signs. Oh, no. No diversion signs. That's far too complicated for these road workers to do that, isn't it? No. I don't know where to put the diversion sign, mate. No, I just dig the road. don't know how to do that. Oh, no, that's too complicated for them to put a diversion sign so you know how to get from A to B. Oh, no, 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 won't have any of that. Good morning, Ross. Morning, Ross, on the YouTube there. So you left to your own devices, and I couldn't find it. Well, yesterday, hooray! The road is open. 4 weeks I've not been able to get my cheap petrol. And when I say cheap petrol, it's like 2 pence a litre cheaper than the BP one up the road. Usually about 2 pence. Okay? Anyway, so I've gone down this little road. As I've got to the end, just past the roundabout, guess what? I looked across to the other side. They've closed that side. How am I going to get back? How am I going to get back home now? You've closed the other side. So now the traffic can go that way, but it can't get back to the roundabout. Anyway, so I went into the garage, and he's a lovely chap, Asian chap he is. He owns the garage. I think it's what's it called when you sign up to a large company? A franchise. I think it's a franchise there. Let me just do some more tea while I'm chatting to you. I think it's a franchise there. And I filled up my petrol, and it's got one of those... There's a sign on the wall next to the petrol pump now, which says, download the app, and then you can fill and go. And I thought, that looks interesting. You know, how does that work? So I went into the garage. My Asian friend is there. He's about 40 years old, I suppose, and it's his garage. I said, hello, how's business? I said, I've not been able to get down here for 4 weeks. He said, don't even ask. He said, we're running at about 30 to 40% business at the moment since they closed that road. I said, does the company give you any money for that, for the loss of business? He said, no, nothing. He said, we're down 60 to 70% traffic, because a lot of people know that this particular garage does cheap petrol on a Saturday and a day in the week, which is usually Tuesday. Usually Tuesday. In fact, I've never known it to be another day other than Tuesday. So we'll say Saturday and Tuesday, he does cheap petrol. So it'd be 1 to 3 pence off a litre, which is all right, you know, if you're going that way. You know. So I kind of divert a little bit to go that way. It doesn't cost me any more in distance or anything like that. And he says, no, he was down 60 to 70%. And the company digging the roll up, they don't give them any compensation. I said, you must be losing thousands. And he said, yes, we are. They're losing thousands on this because people can't. I mean, they must do the same as me. You could come off the M25, fill up, and go back on it from there. You see, thousands he's losing, ridiculous. Anyway, so I filled up, then I come back out there, and I have to put my sat nav on, and I put my sat nav on. Fortunately, he recognised that part of the road was closed and took me round the back, which is kind of through some housing. And then past a Waitrose in Egham. I didn't even know they had a Waitrose in Egham. I haven't visited that one. So there's the day out. Looking forward to that. And you managed to get home eventually. I was late home yesterday as well, because this morning as well, because at Central Station, after we finished the karaoke, which was a marvellous karaoke last night. Really, really good karaoke last night. And... some great singers. Ray Reynolds came down and he did Tulips from Amsterdam. When it's spring again, I'll bring to you tulips from Amsterdam. In fact, I think Ray Reynolds should represent us at next Eurovision Song Contest next year, wherever that may be. I quite like the idea of that. So Ray was singing there last night. But I stayed afterwards because we were trying to sort the sound out to get from... There was a bit of an issue early on with the sound. Someone's playing around with the settings in there, and it's very, very annoying. You get there and you plug things in, and there was sound cut before I started, and I was having to wiggle wires and things like that. I don't know what was going on. We're trying to get the sound to come from one of the televisions into the sound desk so it comes through the big speakers and we couldn't get it going. So I'm a little bit concerned they're not going to be able to do the Eurovision tonight. Now, I don't start there till 9:30, which is like an hour and a half after that starts. And I would probably stay a bit later tonight because after the show, then we'd put the cabaret on. This is at Central Station in King's Cross, you see. So I would put the cabaret on after the Eurovision. So that's all right. But the Eurovision bit, I'm not sure that they're going to be able to show it. You can't really use the telly speakers because they're just not loud enough. You know, you've got a bar full of people shouting and screaming their blooming heads off. You're not going to hear the speakers. It's got to be coming through the sound system. So there's a chance that that's not going to happen in there tonight. So I wouldn't like to say if you want to watch the Eurovision, go down to Central Station and watch it because I'm not sure it's going to work or not. Our lovely manager there, Guy, I think he's going to get someone in to try and work it. But I don't think the audio is coming out of the television. I'm pretty sure because I put a new cable in yesterday. We bought this new cable and it was only £8, but it's like 100 metres and it runs from the telly into the sound desk and there's nothing coming through it at all. Nothing at all. So I don't think the sound's coming out of the telly. There's like 6 sockets in the telly, one of which says right and left. So usually that will be the one the sound's coming out of, but there's nothing. So I'm not sure that they're going to be able to hold the karaoke there last night. Terrible journey into work last night, I've got to say. Over 2 hours last night. And one of the reasons it took me 35 minutes to get out of Bracknell because we've got a dual carriage here. I mean, we've got 2 motorways and it will take me on, the sat-nav will take me on the one that's the least time. But on the dual carriageway going to the M3, so I've joined that. And someone's broken down, you know, quite a long way down. Someone's broken down in one of the lanes. So, of course, everyone's going onto the other lane and going around it. And, oh, God, it was 35 minutes before I got onto the M3. And it was bad through Richmond. It was bad through London. Really bad journey into work last night. But, of course, the fantastic night we had and some wonderful singers last night. The fantastic night we had there last night made up for all of it. And nice people as well. The delightful Lady Phoenix. She's wonderful, she is. I mean, she takes loads of selfies of herself all the time. She's great. She was there as well. So that was nice. Let's have a look there. So there we are. Okay, so that was my day yesterday, really. Let's have a look there. Good morning to Abjeet. Morning, Emad. Mark says, morning, happy Eurovision to you as well, Mark. That's a strange thing to say. Happy Eurovision. That's like happy Christmas. No, that's a bit odd, Mark. You wouldn't say really happy Eurovision Day to you. Is that something you've invented? Good old Mark. We love Mark. Good morning, Farrell. Morning, you lovely thing. All right, Farrell. Nice to see you, darling. Elaine's there. Te Deum, written by Sharpinder. That's right. Charpentier, something like that. Oh, look, Elaine says it as well. Happy Eurovision Saturday. Okay, maybe that's a thing that I don't know about. I take that back, Mark. Ronnie says, are we going swimming? We certainly are. Swimming on a Saturday, not till 12:30. They've got stuff going on in there right the way through until 12:30 on a Saturday. And if you go before... Like sometimes I do go in there when the old bags are swimming up and down there. When I go, if you go in there on a Saturday, you'll have one lane. There'll only be one lane. You won't have half a pool. It's really busy in there on a Saturday. So leave it till 12:30, Ron. All right. Morning to Sunjinu. Have I said hello to you already? Sorry if I haven't. We have that too in Israel. See, they have post offices in their supermarkets as well. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, do you have the same problem with queues as well, Elaine? I hope the Israeli one doesn't win tonight. It's just awful. The chicken, all singing chickens and all that business. Morning. Oh, there's Ray Reynolds. Hello, Jack Carroll. Good morning, Jack. Rod Brown, lesson to be learnt about queuing. Just fart, the queue does then diminish. If not, say smell the popcorn. That does it. I don't have a problem with wind like that at all, actually, to be honest, Jack. So there we are. Jack says he popped into Central last night. You were right, well busy. Just watch the singers. Thank you very much, Jack. Did I see you in there last night, Jack? Did I see you? Did I see you in there last night? I do get incredibly busy, I'm afraid, in there, certainly on a Friday. If you come in earlier, sometimes I can have a little bit of a chat, sort of just as we start. But as it gets, see, the thing is, you come off the stage, people can start taking the mick and starting playing with buttons and things like that. Oh, God, it's a nightmare. Andy reckons £10 is a bargain to get your car cleaned. Look what you get. Clean car plus bulging young men all over your car. Oh, that's why we do it. Ronnie's in there every other day having his car cleaned, just watching the boys climb all over the car. Aren't we naughty? Wayne has his cleaned as well. Who's moaning? Yeah, stop moaning, Wayne, will you? Stop moaning, exactly. Look at him moaning. Moan, moan, moan. Some people are on here just to moan all the time, I tell you. Jack says, any Eurovision tips? Yes. Yes. I'll read the other messages and I'll give you my tips, all right? Andy Baker, karaoke was one of the best. Yes, it was last night. It was fantastic. It's not me, it's the singers. It's the singers who are fantastic. It's great to have so many people turning up, all different levels of skills. Don't forget, gang, it's not about what a good singer you are. It's about having a go. We don't care if people can't sing, all right? It's about having a go and having a bit of a laugh. And in that same thing, you will get some fantastic singers. New ones last night, I discovered. Not who I discovered, who came. Oh, it was an unusual name. What was it? Graham and two particular boys who sang last night. I can't remember the other one. Oh, and of course... Oh, gosh, what's his name? Is it Jack? No, not Jack. Jacob? Oh, God. Oh, I can't remember now. Jake. He's like that, and he plays rugby. Jake and Neil. Neil was a tall guy, thin. Ended up getting with Jake, I think. I think there was something going on there. And I looked at them, and they were all a bit touchy-feeling when they were talking to each other. I can always tell who's going to get off with who. And there were two other boys in there. Jake, I think the other name begins with C. I can't remember his name now. It's gone. No, I didn't talk to Jack last night. Where were you sitting, Jack? I didn't see you in there last night, I must admit. I'm sure you were there somewhere, weren't you? Eh? Well, you were. You just told me. Good morning, Martin O'Neill. Okay, so let's just do a little bit about this Eurovision thing. And I got a little bit more. I've got loads of news stories up there to tell you about, actually. All right. So I have put 2 more bets on, as I said I would. I've got 40 quid on the Eurovision Song Contest. £40 I've bet now, which is about 70 US, about 80 Australian. Okay? And here are my bets. Here are my little betting slips. Look, and I only go into the betting shop once, twice a year, maybe. I mean, can you believe? Once I spoke about that I'd been into a betting shop, and immediately some woman says, "Oh, you don't want to be doing that. You'll get addicted." I don't think so, darling. I don't think so. I go in once, maybe twice a year. I might go in there just after the Royal Wedding and have a little bet on how long that'll last. Old Sarah Ferguson, she didn't get an invite and she's fuming, dear. I don't think she got... Did Sarah Ferguson get an invite to the Royal Wedding? I'm sure she didn't. Funnily enough, I was looking at afternoon teas today in Windsor. There's a few places there we can go to. I might book one next week as a special surprise for my friend. Right, so here are my Eurovision betting slips, boys and girls. On Wednesday, I went into the betting shop and I put £10 on Ireland to win. 66-1. I was very touched by that song. So that's that one. I put £10 on Finland to win at 33-1. There's that one. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, Finland to win 33-1. Now, these odds may be different now, okay, because they change all the time. Yesterday, after watching the Thursday semi-final, I've put 2 more on. Australia to win. I thought the Australian song was damn good. Plus, I like Australia. I love Australia. The only thing with Australia is that when they're talking, At the end of the sentence, instead of coming down like we do, like at the end of a sentence, whenever generally if someone English is talking, at the at the end of the sentence or the comment, we go down. Can you hear me going down? In Australia, it goes up, and it sounds like every time they're talking, they're asking you a question. What? Next time you watch something Australian, you'll see exactly what I mean there. But it's annoying because it sounds like they're asking questions all the time. There are no questions, only answers. Right, so Australia, there you go. 40-1 to win, £10 on that one. And Norway to win. Now, this is the low one. Only 20-1 on that. So that's more favourite than the other three that I've showed you. So there's 40 quid there that I've put on. If any one of those wins, I'll make a really decent profit. Any one of those. Okay, but of course they may not. They may not. All right, so there are my 4. I can be completely wrong. Don't start putting bets on there. Do not start putting bets on there and then thinking to yourself when you've lost, oh, I'm going to have a go at Chris. I'm going to have a go at Chris for recommending. I'm not recommending nothing. I ain't recommending nothing, sunshine, okay? That is just my thoughts. That's where I've put my bets. I think 40 quid... and the maximum I could win there is 660. The minimum I can win is 200. Or I might win nothing at all. So we will see what happens. You can also go into the betting shop. You don't need to put 10 back. You can put £1 on. You can put £1 on. I mean, if you really want to take a risk, the best odds are for... the United Kingdom. The last time I looked, it was 200-1. And I actually know a few people have gone into betting shops the last few days and put just £1 on because you're never going to miss £1, aren't you? But you might win 200. Extremely unlikely, but you might. And I said on the last 2 shows, I actually think, and I'm not just saying that because I'm British, I actually think our song is damn good. The lady singing it, Suri, is lovely. She is delightful. Such a nice person. She really is. She's come across on all these little interviews and all that on the telly. She's come across as a really nice person who's very humble. She's very humble. We like humble people. She's very humble. And she has one of the best songs in there. But no one is going to vote for us. I would not tell you to vote for the United Kingdom because no one's going to vote for us. They hate us. They hate us. Or prove me wrong and vote us in. It's just not going to happen. Don't put any money on it. Let's have a look over here. What do other people think? Let's have a look. No, poor Sarah Ferguson didn't get an invite. What a shame. What a shame. Oh, good morning to Joanna. Morning. Ross says he's got a shower to clean my wheelie bin. Hi, I've just had a shower to clean my wheelie bin. Very funny, very funny. Good morning, Joanna. Welcome to the show. And, let's have a look. Elaine says, I think SF was invited. Sarah Ferguson was invited to the wedding, but not the after party. Is that right? Oh, she can drink, can't she? I reckon old Sarah Ferguson likes a drink now and again. Absolutely. Christine says, I think Australia has a good chance. I think you're right, Christine. Isn't she pretty, that girl? And so tanned and beautiful. I can only ever dream of being that good looking, dear. Oh, well, never mind. Elaine loves the Norway song. Yes, as I do. I think that's a good song. But the singer, he doesn't look like he's aged at all. The singer is a little bit full of himself. A little bit like myself. He's a little bit full of himself, and I wonder if that's going to put people off. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. There's a bit of an attitude there. But I think it's got a chance, so that's why I put some money. I think it's one of the better songs, actually, again, Norway. Ukraine was another thought that I thought. I thought the Ukraine was very good as well. Elaine says, my choices are Spain. That's the love story, isn't it? And I believe the two of them go out with each other, and they look right together, don't they? Young lad and young girl on there. So Spain, UK, Ireland, Norway, and Germany. Didn't like the German one. got to be honest, didn't like the German one. So that's the Eurovision tonight. 8 o'clock, BBC One, colour, of course. And various pubs up and down the country. All right? Now let's have a look here. Have I told you everything there? I think so. Now, I mentioned a new radio show that I was going to be doing. Not going to be doing that now. And I'll tell you why. I think there must have been... I don't know how I thought it. But as you know, I do a music and chat show on a Monday. I just do 1 hour music and chat every Monday, right? To do anything else, to do more, would be a bit of a struggle. However, if something came along that I think would improve what I do with that music and chat show, or might get me somewhere, like eventually, might be a step up, then I'd probably try and move things around a bit, or even drop some things to take on a proper radio job, if you see what I mean. When I say a proper radio job, I mean on the FM or the DAB, right? Now, the radio station that asked me to do a show, for some reason, I thought it was a DAB station covering a whole area. And I thought, yes, at last, a proper radio show on the DAB or FM. Either, it doesn't matter what, right? So for a couple of weeks now, I've been thinking about this, and I'm thinking, well, and they wanted like 2 hours a day, and I was struggling to find 2 hours a day. Right? From our little chats every morning, that thank you. Yoda thinks I look like the Ninth Doctor, do you? A lot of people say that. All right, Yoda, welcome to the show. So I've been looking at things and I thought, well, I'll have to cut that out. I'll have to drop that completely. I won't be able to do that. But it might be worth doing all this just to get on and perhaps take a step up from what I do. And I just assumed that this was a DAB station covering a whole area. I don't know why I assumed that. Because they do traffic news. I think that was something to do with it. And I'm sure I heard someone say, yeah, it's on DAB in the whole of this particular area. And it was all signed, sealed and delivered and all was sorted. And the last... Actually, on Thursday, it was either Thursday or Friday, I had terrible trouble sleeping because this idea was going on in my head that I was going to be doing this. But I was going to have to move stuff around and drop stuff to be able to do it. One of the things would have been this. Okay? I would still have done this, only not every day. It just would not have been possible to carry on doing this as I do it. And I'm fully aware of how many people... do enjoy having a little bit of a laugh with us every morning. Or even more people watch the recording, you see. So some of you watch live, some of you watch recording. And whatever way you do it, I'm glad that you kind of enjoy it a little bit what I do. This is, and that's how it is. I'm fully aware of that. And it was going round and round in my head. And how can I keep that going and do that at the same time? And then when am I going to do my swimming? Fitness. I'm not a mad fanatic fitness freak, okay? But I like to do something. You go over a certain age, I think it's probably about 35, and you need to do something. You can't just, for example, sit in a little studio like this for 6 hours a day doing what you love, because your body will suffer. You've got to do something. So there was that. Then there was the work at night. Well, where am I going to sleep in the afternoon? And after doing a show like this, or a radio show, you can't go to bed after doing this, because you're buzzing afterwards. You're buzzing after doing something like this. Anyway, so I'm trying to shuffle, and it affected my sleep the other night. I just was worried. But, as the day went on, I thought, well, yeah, maybe I can put that aside there. And if it can step you up a little bit, then yeah, it probably is worth doing a little bit less of that and moving that there and whatever. And then last night, I was at work and I thought, well, I'll just have another look at this station. I'm looking around and it suddenly revealed to me that it was just an online station. A good online station. Nothing wrong with it. But it was an online station. Well, I'm already on an online station doing an hour a week. Just an hour a week. But it kind of keeps your toes in it. Online stations are never going to get thousands and millions of listeners. It just doesn't work like that. You're lucky to have a handful. You're lucky to have a handful of listeners on an online station. And I thought, well, I would be, instead of doing 1 hour a week to keep my toes in, I'd be doing like 10 hours a week. It would completely muck up my week. I'd have to change so much stuff to accommodate this. For what? You see what I mean? It's not stepping up. You're just moving across and doing a lot more. And I honestly don't think it's going to do any favours, really. Do any favours. So I was in the car on the way and I thought, how has this happened? All this time I thought I was about to step up onto the DAB FM type thing. And it's just another online station. There are thousands of online stations. You know, this one's serving there, that one's serving there. But at the end of the day, it's an online station, which is what I'm already doing. And it fits in nicely. Slimmer's World, I would have had to have stopped going to that, or at least I wouldn't be able to go to any of the group meetings. It would just be a quick way in on my haircut days, cut me out, and then rush back here for 10 o'clock to start. It would have been such a rush around for not kind of getting any further in what I do. Do you see what I mean? And I come back in and I was just completely and totally confused how that happened. How for some reason I thought it was something that it's not. That's not to say it's not good, because it is good. I've listened to some of the people on it. They're very good. But it's not a step up. You see what I mean? So I sent a letter to the chap yesterday, a little email yesterday, and explained, I'm really sorry, but this is going to throw me out completely in everything I do. There wouldn't be any more outings to afternoon teas or anything. That'd all have to stop. To sit in here for 10 hours a week. Well, I do that now. So I decided against it. So I'm not going to be doing that. So now everything's going to remain the same, okay? Just to let you know, everything will remain the same. Chat shows as always, most days, almost every day of the week. Everything else, nothing's going to change. All right? Just to let you know that. I just don't know how I've managed to make that mistake. I really don't. I think somewhere along the line, I'm sure someone mentioned DAB. But there you go. It's one of those things. So we live and we learn, don't we? We live and we learn. And maybe one day it happen. Maybe one day it won't. We've been waiting 13 years now. The trouble is I can't really be formatted. That's the other thing. I would have had to change the show how I do it now. And I'm very happy with how I do it now to accommodate for what they do, you see. But no. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Let's have a look. Elaine says, on the subject of the Norwegian lad, he's already won once, so he's earned the right to have an attitude. Yes, see where you're coming from there, Elaine, but that's how it's coming across. There is an attitude there, and it might be a bit of a turn-off to people. People might not like that attitude, all right? Hello to Kevin Webster, loves the jacket. Yeah, I've had this a while, actually. I bought this when we went to the last night of the proms back in September. I'm very grateful for that radio station for offering me that. Very, very grateful. Very grateful for that offer. But, online stations have come to me in the past and say, we like the show. Can you come and do it here? Are you on FM or DA? But no, we're just on online. Well, I'm already doing that, you see. And the whole thing is very easy. It's all automatic. It comes to me and goes away from me. Very clever, really, how it all works. Christina says, maybe if Australia win, we could host it next year. Christina, nothing would delight me more than seeing the Eurovision Song Contest come from the Sydney Opera House. That's the only place that could possibly be held in Australia. It has to be held in the Sydney Opera House with that beautiful... Oh, it's just stunning, the Sydney Opera House. You cannot imagine how fantastic the Sydney Opera House looks until you stand in front of it. The pictures look great, but nothing compares to when you stand. The first thing I ever did when I went to Australia the first time, which is some years ago now, okay, so the plane from the UK lands very early. It's like 6 in the morning. I mean, Australia doesn't wake up at 6 in the morning. It's not like here. It's not like here with people getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning who live, I don't know, up in Milton Keynes to try and get in for work and sit in traffic. It's not like that in Australia. They take life a lot easier. They might get up 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning maybe, and they stroll into work. The rush hour in Sydney, the last time I was there, lasts about an hour. Okay, about an hour. Now, if you're from Australia and you've never been to the UK, you've not seen a rush hour, my loves. The rush hour in the UK in the morning lasts from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. And it's bad. It's bad. Not like that in Australia. Okay? So the plane lands. Thank you, Yoda. You can't do syndication. Yeah, you could do syndication. Yeah, but it's, I'm quite happy sort of doing what I want, really. And that's it. So thank you for the little tip there. Talking of syndications, someone, Gustav actually, was saying last night, can you do an audio version of your chat show as well? Well, we used to. I'm going to look into that. There might be a way of doing an audio stream out as well for those of you that... I know some people have requested that they want to listen sort of on their mobile phones when they're walking around, but they can't because you've got to have the picture on in your pocket if it's on YouTube or Facebook. And the moment you click that, the side of the phone to turn the picture off, it goes off. So there might be a way of doing that. I'm going to look into that for you, okay? Oh, gosh. What was I just saying? I've lost the plot now. What was I just saying? Can't remember. That's my fault for looking at messages. My fault for looking at messages there. Let's go back to some of your messages. Martin says, so do you think an internet station is not a real radio station as I run an internet station? Yes, I do think it's a real radio station, Martin. But I'm already doing that, you see? So I'm there... Now, to go there, you'd have to go on DAB or FM, wouldn't you? You see what I mean? I'm already there. So that's why, what's the point in moving from one to the other and timesing the amount of hours you're on by 10? You see, I don't see that as a step up. An internet radio station is a real radio station. And it's about time they started putting them in all the cars. You can do this now. You can get an internet radio car unit. Did you know that? You can get that, and I've seen one working. They're very good. And, of course, you've got it all on the tuning apps as well. But the fact is, there's internet. What's at the very bottom? Hospital radio. Fantastic job they do in hospital radios, don't they? Then you've got internet stations, then DAB stations, and right at the top is FM. I still consider FM is right at the very top. Not going to turn that off now, are they? Turned it off in Norway. Someone reminds me what I was just talking about, and I'll go back to that as well, okay? Elaine says, I sleep very well after my radio show. I'm sure you do. You do a lot of work there, Elaine. She's very happy and very grateful for the few listeners I have. Same as me. Same as me. Probably got about 5-10 people listening to my little show that I do on a Monday. But if I wasn't happy, I wouldn't be doing it. So I love doing that every Monday morning. Love doing that between 10 and 11 o'clock. And, if I had a bit more time, I'd probably do a few more of them. But I'm not going to restrict myself to having to sit here for 2 hours every day and feeling that I'm not going to get somewhere with it, Jack says, people sleep very well during most radio shows. Yeah, definitely mine, Jack. Some people turn on this show to assist them to sleep. That is true, Jack. Martin says you can get thousands of people on an online station. Well, maybe so. What is your station? Do you get thousands on yours? Is that, at any one time or overall? That's the thing, you see. At any one time or overall. Hello to Ploy. Hello, Ploy. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're okay. Mark's got two favourites in Eurovision, Hungary and the opera one. Yes, I know that one. I know that one. Elaine, landing in Australia. Please go back to your Australia story. That was it. Wayne, you were talking about Ozzy, Oz host Eurovision. Right, the rush hour in Australia. Okay, I remember now. I remember what we were talking about now. So the plane lands, and you get off the plane. And various ways of getting into Sydney, of course. I take the shuttle bus. That's the cheapest way to do it. So you go out, you go to a desk and say, "Oh, can I have a lift, please, to whatever hotel that I stayed at the Stella Suites, which is on the corner of Oxford Street, just opposite Hyde Park. I stayed at Stella Suites a couple of times, and the Ibis, which is right in the middle there. And a bus, and you get on the bus, and there's about loads of other people on. And it's a bit of a squash, I won't lie to you, but for $10, $20, it's worth doing. Otherwise, it's twice or more than that to get a cab. I have also done it by train. I won't do that again. Oh, my word. Coming up the stairs is at Hyde Park. There's some stairs in Sydney. I think it's Hyde Park. And I was dragging this because I was going for 5 weeks. And I had this great big suitcase and I was dragging it up the stairs and then walking through the streets of Sydney at 7 o'clock in the morning to this hotel. Oh, God. No, you get a shuttle. If you want to save money, get a shuttle. If you've got a bit of cash and you don't mind splashing it around, get yourself a cab, all right? So you get off the plane. You're in your shuttle, gets dropped at your hotel, you check into your hotel, and you can't check in till 2 o'clock. We can look after your cases, so yes, look after my cases, please. Leave your cases there, and you go out. And the very first thing I did, and I'll never forget, was staying at Stella Suites. Stella Suites. And I dropped my case off, and I left there, right, let's walk to the Opera House. And I had no idea of distance, really, how far it was. And I stopped. Can you tell me where the Opera House is? Yeah, just go straight down that road. It's about a 20-minute walk. Okay, that's fine. 7 o'clock in the morning this was. And as I say, you can't check in until 2 in the afternoon anyway, so that's fine. They said, come back about 12. We might have your room ready by then. Fine, okay. So I'm walking down this road. Went past the swimming pool and St Mary's Cathedral on the right. Carried on down, and then you go down this like army place, what's on a corner. On the left-hand side is Hyde Park, and you carry on, and you go down a hill, and you walk through the Botanical Gardens, which is very, very nice indeed in Sydney. And there it is in front of you. I know, I didn't walk through the Botanical Gardens. I kept on the main path, because I'd never been there before, you see. And I've got to say, the first time you get to the Sydney in Australia and you walk down there, it feels good. There's nowhere else. I mean, I've walked through there's nothing wrong with New York. It's too busy for me, New York, Rome, all sorts of different places. There's something very, very special about walking through Sydney. So Hyde Park's on the left, as I say, and you're going down this hill, and I kept on the path. The Botanical Garden is on the right. The city is on the left, and you go down and down and down and down. And where's this blooming place? And then you get there, and there it is in front of you. And there's a bench. As you kind of turn right, there's the water. The Opera House is there, and there's a bench there, right in front of the Opera House. And I sat on this bench. And the sun was just coming over the top. And it's right on my face. And I went, wow. And I'm looking at this building. And it's like a goldy colour, shimmering in the sunlight. I'm in Australia. And that was just a special moment. That was a really special moment. And if Australia were ever able to host the Eurovision Song Contest, it's got to come from the Sydney Opera House. It can't possibly be put anywhere else. It has to come from there, surely. And that was my very first experience of Australia. Absolutely fantastic. So if you ever go, that's the first thing you've got to drop your cases off and make your way down to the Opera House. And you can get a cup of tea in one of those little paper cups as you're walking down. There's all sorts of places selling tea and things like that. And then just go down there and sit in front of that Opera House and you will know that you've arrived in Australia. Very, very special indeed. Very, very special indeed. Kevin says, I think ABBA was the best that come out of Eurovision. Oh, absolutely, Kevin. You can't beat a bit of ABBA. Waterloo. Da, 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 da. Simon, who do you think will win Eurovision? Who do I think will win? I don't know. I don't know, Simon. If you just joined us, I've got 4 bets on Norway, Australia, Finland, and Ireland. I put 40 quid on that lot, not each, altogether. It's better if you spread it around. You know, you've got more chance of winning something. You could, I suppose, put 40. If I'd have put 40 quid on Ireland, which the last time I looked, it was 70 to 1. That's a lot of cash. Nearly £4,000, dear. £4,000. What are you going to do with that? Buy yourself a nice new telly for that. Christina says, lovely story, thank you. All my family are in Perth. Okay, I haven't been to Perth. In Australia, I have lots of family there. My cousin's quite high up in the police force there. I probably better not tell you his name, because then he might be a terrorist target, mightn't he? He might be a terrorist target. But my cousin's very high up in the police there. He's... and other cousins there I've had that have moved from here and set up. One met a lovely Australian girl, and first of all she moved here, but she didn't like it, so they all moved there, and he's got his own gardening business, climbed up trees. Of course, you've got the spiders there. I'll never forget the story of the spider. He told me he was up a tree, high up a tree once, you know, with the thing, what's that called? You know, that thing that you've got to put round you and hold on to the tree so you don't fall off. And he said he was up there chopping a branch down, and this bloody great big spider landed on his face. And its fangs, he saw the fangs come out as it took a bite out of him. A huntsman. Which, of course, I don't think people die from huntsman bites. It's the little ones that are dangerous, isn't it? Oh, dear. So I've got lots of people there. Living in North Sydney and Canberra. And I've also been to Melbourne. And I've also been to what I consider the most beautiful place on this planet, Norfolk Island. I've been there twice. What a wonderful... It really is a step back in time. Thank you, Andy Harness. Yeah, it's really a step back in time when you go to Norfolk Island. And I made a lot of friends on there. It's just beautiful and quiet. That's all I can say. I know they got into terrible money difficulties over there. And the airline folded up. Something was going on with the airline. That sounded all a little bit dodgy to me, but there we are. Yoda says, my favourite Eurovision is Lena Meyer. Who is Lena Meyer, darling? Who did they represent? Have you got who else has got favourites for the Eurovision this year? Come on. Let us know who you think is going to win. Canberra was all right. At the time... I went to Canberra because that's where my cousin and his parents were living. I lost an aunt last year, though. Auntie Shirley. She moved out there, early 1980s, and they've had a good life over there, very good life. I've got one uncle over there, Uncle Martin. He's got to be mid-70s now. And I can't remember where he lives, but it's beautiful. And he took me out on these rocks where the sea or the ocean comes over these rocks. You can walk on there, but now and again the swell comes over the rocks. And he was telling me at night time, fishermen go up on these rocks and they sit up there with their rods and they lose people. They lose people up there because, you know, 1 minute it's all right and then suddenly this swell comes out and literally takes them out. Never to be seen again. You know, what a dangerous sport. And you thought throwing knives in circuses was dangerous, didn't you? Good. Lena Meyer represented Germany. Okay. That's not this year. Is that this year, that one? I wasn't keen on that one, to be honest. Elaine says, I have 2 main fantasies. One is to see Barry Manilow in concert in Israel. Well, that nearly happened last year, didn't it? But I don't know why that stopped. It kind of... the info... Oh, hang on. I found my other glasses. There they are. I wonder where they were. They're on the floor. I just stepped on them. Look, they're not broken, fortunately. And the second one is to travel to Australia. Or you want to go to Australia, Elaine. It's beautiful there. And, of course, you're used to the hot weather in Israel, so you'll be all right there in the summer. I don't think I can recommend anyone from the UK to go to Australia in the middle of the summer, as in December, January. That's very hot there. Direct sun. In fact, I was out there on the last visit, I think, at that time of year. And it was me and cousin Helen, Judge Helen, we call her, Judge Helen. And we were walking through Sydney, and it was getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And I was just, and I said, right, Ellen, we've got to go to the shopping centre. Why? I said, I need to get out of this heat now, as in now. And we went in the shopping centre, and I sat down in the air conditioning. It was so hot. It was too much. Lena Meyer represented Germany in 2010. Thank you, Yoda, watching on the Periscope this morning. Okay. I remember Germany. A Little Piece. Do you remember that one? A Little Piece. Da, da, da. I've done that at karaoke. By Nicole. La la da 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 da. Tony reckons Cyprus will be the winners this year. I haven't got money on Cyprus. I didn't like it. If you put your money on Cyprus, boys and girls, you've got more chance probably of winning than I have. I've kind of let my heart rule here, which is never a good idea really with money, to be honest. I have let my heart rule. I don't know have you just joined us, Tony, or what? Did you hear who I've put my money on? Elaine says in 2006, the Israeli promoter of Barry Manilow screwed up the tour and cancelled it a month before it was supposed to come. Ah, yeah, because I actually considered doing that. Good job I didn't, Elaine. I was ready to book the plane tickets and the hotel and everything. You know. Good job I didn't do it, innit, really, when you think about it. Yeah, Tony, I've bet on Norway, Australia, Finland and Ireland. I've bet on those ones. So we'll see what happens, Tony. All right? You're very sure of yourself there. You should never be sure of yourself because you've just opened yourself to be banged down by me tomorrow if you're wrong, dear. You should put, I think Cyprus will be the winners. You put your look, Cyprus will be the winners. Did you see that? I saw that, what's his name? Dr. Eurovision. He was being interviewed on the semi-final. Always put some age on, ain't he, dear? And some weight. God's sake, man. What's he done with his hair? You only see these people once a year, don't you? I'm so naughty. Story in today's Daily Mirror, boys and girls, which looks particularly violent. If you click on the Daily Mirror website and click on Weird News, there's a vile video. Vile. A man had a cotton bud removed from his ear. He was unaware, had been wedged there for 2 years. I mean, can you just imagine the bacteria on that? Oh, he only realised it must have got stuck inside after going swimming and it swelled up, causing him a lot of pain. Now, they say that. Do not ever put a cotton wool bud in your ear. I've done it. Years ago, you know you got that little itch in your ear. Now, and you use your finger and like that. Now, there's a reason your finger won't go too deeply in your ear. God has made it like that so you don't damage. You know, even your little finger, you can only get it in so far, can't you? I like the smell, don't you? I like the smell. Try doing this. You'll like it. Do this, right? And then it's a nice smell because it's yours. It's a little bit like smelling your own wind. That's usually all right, isn't it? Have you noticed that? Smelling your own wind. Do you like that? Like that? Like that. Oh, I'm so naughty. But yes. It goes on. He only realised it must have got... The cotton wool bud was removed at a clinic, a hearing clinic in Leicestershire. He filmed the removal, which makes for grim watching. He said the client reported muffled hearing in the right ear. And there is a video. Fortunately, the eardrum was healthy and intact, and it took about a minute to remove. It was a delicate procedure, given the cotton bud was pushed right up against the eardrum. I had to ensure that I didn't exert any force while removing, as I could have easily have perforated the eardrum in doing so. So if you want to find that video and watch it after I finished, click on Daily Mirror. Click on Weird News and you'll find it right at the top there. How awful. Oh my God, how awful. Kevin says it likes like the smell of shoe polish. Yeah, it is actually. Hang on a minute. Oh dear. Andy says, how about smelling your own belly button? How vile is that? Oh, I haven't tried that one. Just a minute then. No, I don't like that one. Don't really smell of anything, that one. Maybe I need to sweat a bit. Perhaps if I go for a run or something like that. Yeah, years ago, I mean, I had an itch and I got cotton buds. And if you've got an itch and you do that, it makes it worse. And then, a couple of days later, I was so itchy ear for ages and ages and ages. And then one day I woke up and the pain, I cannot tell. If you just touched my ear like that, it would kind of transmit right into the head. And I had to go to the doctor and he said, you've got a terrible infection in your ear. He said, you've been using cotton buds, haven't you? I said, well, yes. He said, never, ever put a cotton bud in your ear. Never, ever do it. It's really delicate inside there, really delicate, to the point where you should have nothing touched. And if you've got a problem with the ear, wash it out. If that doesn't cure it, down to the doctors. Antibiotics I went on, and actually, within 24 hours, the pain had gone. Oh, the pain, I cannot tell you. Literally, all you had to do was touch my ear, and it was dreadful. Dreadful. So don't put things in your ear like that. Elaine says you're losing it. Of course I am. I've been losing it for ages. Another thing for you to worry about here in the UK, again in the Daily Mirror this morning, is mosquitoes. Be warned, boys and girls. Britain could be hit by a swarm. A swarm. I like that word, swarm. Swarm. Britain could be hit by a swarm of highly aggressive mosquitoes this summer, and the problem is expected to get worse in the future. The mosquitoes are on the way, boys and girls. Joanna says I am strange. I'm a very strange person, Joanna. You don't want to meet me. People sometimes say, oh, I'd love to meet you. No, not a good idea. Not a good idea. You don't know what terrible things would happen to you, Joanna. Don't. It would be like meeting one of the characters, perhaps in The Wizard of Oz. Something like that. Any chance of meeting you? No, not a good idea. Terrible things could happen. Probably to me. I mean, I might get, there might be, apparently there's a gay footballer somewhere now who's a bit afraid to come out because he'll suffer homophobic abuse. I don't think he will, actually. Young people now they're not like that anymore. Well, and perhaps in London they are, but generally wherever else it doesn't really happen. I've never experienced any at all, to be honest. But there's a footballer. It might be that an entire football team wants to meet me, like Manchester United or preferably the Portuguese, because there are no ugly Portuguese people. Have you noticed that? There are no, and Italian as well, there are no ugly Italians. All good looking. All good. Have you seen the young lads in Italy, and especially Portugal, with that beautiful coloured skin? The Portuguese football team might want to meet me one day. But is that a good idea? Terrible things could happen. Hopefully to me. Anyway, back onto this story. Experts are predicting an explosion. Are the Russians on the way again? Experts are predicting an explosion in the population of Asian tiger mosquitoes, or Aedes allopictus. Why did I have to put those words in? We don't need that word. We could just stick with the Asian tiger mosquitoes. Thanks to this year's freezing cold winter and unusually warm spring. Now, you would have thought the winter would have frozen them off, wouldn't you? Isn't it a problem when we don't have a freezing cold winter? I thought that was a good thing because that kills off the bad insects and things. Should unofficial predictions for a long and hot summer come true, the coming months could see an unusually large plague of the insects not seen for over a decade. Tiger mosquitoes are larger and more aggressive than their native counterparts, and their hardy eggs are able to withstand harsh winters. This is in stark contrast to the eggs of dragonflies and damselflies, which are often killed off by the cold conditions. Oh, okay. Those insects feed off the larvae of tiger mosquitoes, thus helping to keep their population in check. I see. Insect bite prevention expert Howard Carter said Britain could be facing a repeat of the 2007 mosquito outbreak caused by similar extremes in temperature. We're going to have to all walk around with net curtains on, aren't we? We'll all look like brides. We're going to have to walk around with net curtains on. I saw someone the other day wearing something that resembled a dyed net curtain. I kid you not. Apparently, ice and snow keeps the eggs alive and can, in fact, make the adult mosquito more hardier than their predators. Oh, my God, we're going to be bitten to death, lovey. It's bad enough when you go out there sometimes and I get bites all over my legs. Knowing my blood condition, those insects aren't going to survive very long, I'll tell you that now. The Asian tiger mosquito is very aggressive. Especially when they're young and they have one purpose, and that is to feed. And the warm weather is a very big driver. So watch out for the Asian mosquitoes, boys and girls. Very dangerous. Joanna says she's from Italy and I would love to meet you. Oh, no, no, you mustn't meet me, dear. Mustn't meet me. It could be very dangerous. Oh, there's Tony. He's back again, Tony. Tony says, I have to say, though Ireland will get a few votes because of the song written by the excellent Ryan O'Shaughnessy. I saw him interviewed. What a nice chap. And I saw you had a picture with him, didn't you? What a nice chap that Ryan boy is. Yeah. Ryan O'Shaughnessy promotes equality and good for him. Ryan's song is not the ideal Eurovision song. No, correct. But was the Portuguese one that won last year? I thought it was dreadful. Ghastly song. Yeah. I thought it was awful last year, the song that won. And I still do. Hasn't grown on me at all. Really weird song. So when you say that, that's what can happen. That's what you can get a really odd song win for no reason at all. Tony says Ryan's song is not the ideal Eurovision song, but has already attracted a lot of interest because of the Chinese incident recently in the news, which I read on the show yesterday. His song was backed from 150 to 1 to 9 to 1. Is it 9 to 1 now? Well, Tony, when I put my bet on, it was 66 to 1. Ho, ho, ho! Yes! I'm in the money! I'm in the money! Da, 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 da. Yeah, baby! Oh, Tony, you've made me very happy now. Can you see the glint in my eye? Huh? Let's have this for a moment, shall we? It's on tonight, 8 o'clock on BBC One Colour. I'm so excited. Unfortunately, I'll be in the car at that point. I shall listen to Radio 2, where it will be broadcast. 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2. Oh, hang on, I've got that. Just a minute. I can do that. 1 minute. I've got that. I really shouldn't play you this. 1 moment. Getting terrible trouble playing this one. 1 minute. Where is it? Or maybe I haven't got it on here after all. Is it? There it is. 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC. See, you don't need to be on a real radio station. Just get the jingles and pretend you are like I am. It's as simple as that. Will I win? So if you're watching this tonight and Ireland win, I want you to all don't be jealous and upset. Don't be jealous and upset. Oh, cool, that bastard's won all that money. Don't be like that. Be pleased for me. Be pleased. £660. Oh, Tony, you've made me very happy. He says you have to have an each way chance. You've been better going for it, finishing at the top at 6 to 1. What, 6? Take the risk. Take the risk. I mean, I have in the past, I don't know if you know this, Tony, when we had Conchita, and I heard it on before the show, and I was convinced it would win. Absolutely no doubt in my mind it would win, and it did. I put £100 on that and got 400 odd back. And I made 400 on that one. So, but I mean, £100 is a lot to lose. £10 times 4, so £40 with 4 chances instead of 1 is a lot less to lose than £100. You'd notice £100 lost, wouldn't you? £10, not so much. Tony says, if Ireland win, I will eat my TV screen. Can you video that so that we can watch you eating your TV screen? If you win all the money, will you come here to celebrate? Elaine, £600? That's not going to get me a business class ticket on the plane, is it, love? I'll tell you what, Elaine, and I said to you I'll probably come to Israel this year. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I absolutely will come to Israel. And when I do, I'm going to come and see you, and you're going to take me to your radio station, and we'll do a show. I promise you that. Whenever it is that I decide that I can get over there, that's it. All right? Elaine says, if Israel wins, we need to withdraw from the EBU immediately. I reckon so as well. Mark reckons it'll be Israel. That dog barking song has got a lot of people liking it, I'd have to tell you. It's quite mad. It's quite bad, but we like mad things. That's why you're watching this. That's why you're watching this. And on that note, I'm going to do today's birthdays, boys and girls. It's birthday time here on United Kingdom Talk. Happy birthday today. How many we got today? My God, 17 birthdays. There's 17 birthdays today. Okay. 17 birthdays, then it is. Here we go. Let's find my birthdays. Where's my birthday list gone? Here we go. Birthday time, boys and girls. First of all, happy birthday to the absolutely delightful person known as Miss Jacquii Can. Now, Jacquii, she does, she's been on Stars in Her Eyes, and she did Alison Moyet. Or for those of you without good vocabulary, Alison Moyet. Duh, you lost your time. I can't remember the song now. How's the song go, Jacquii? I haven't seen Jacquii for a few years now, but I worked with her many times, and she is absolutely delightful to work with. She has such a laugh. She has such a laugh with me, and I do like her very much. Happy birthday to Jacquii Can today. Dave Williams is 39 years old today. Excuse me a moment. Happy birthday to Dave Williams. All right, Dave. Nice to see you, sir. Paul Adamson today, a young 51 years old today. Philip Delara. Kevin Hoff. Hello, Kevin. 41. Gosh. Where's these years going, Kevin? Happy birthday, Kevin. Nice jacket you got on there. Merp, London. Greetings, Merp. 58 years old today. The lovely Sinclair Cameron. It's been for some years, hasn't it, Sinclair? Is 36 there. It says 36 there, Sinclair. I'm not sure that you're 36, lovey. Are you really 36? Happy birthday, Sinclair. Jackie Union. Hello, Jackie Union, otherwise known as John. Happy birthday, John. Happy birthday to you. Shaun Christopher Smith is 31 years old today. Mike Cooper. Happy birthday to Mike. Nathan Mauer-Jebb. Happy birthday, Nathan. Billy Redgrave today, 28 years old. Kevin Warrillow. Happy birthday, Kevin. Owen Williams is 39 years old today. Hang on, Owen Williams. Aren't you the same as Dave? I think you are. Eh? He used to be the manager of Central Station. He was there when I went to work there, actually. I'd already been there once. It was the second time. And Dave was running the place up there. In fact, I will tell you that Dave Williams is the man responsible for bringing karaoke back to Central Station over 3 years ago now. And it was a mistake. It was a bit of a mistake that I ended up doing the karaoke. I was due to DJ there one night. I had been DJing there for some time on a Friday night. And Dave knew I did karaoke, and I'd asked him if he wanted it there, and it was all a bit, I don't know about that. Not from Dave, but from people above. Not quite sure about that. Anyway, the cabaret cancelled, and Dave says, "Are you on your way yet?" He rang me up. I said, "No, not yet." He said, "Can you bring your karaoke stuff down?" Yeah, I said, "No problem." We set it up, did it, and it worked. It worked, and it worked well. And at that point, he cancelled all the cabaret, and we did karaoke every Friday night, and we're now packed on a Friday night. And there was like 10 customers there before. So that's all down to... Not down to me. I just do the job. He bought that in. And then we started doing Mondays as well. Happy birthday, Dave, all right? Happy birthday to Yikai, who is 35 today. David Ramonde. Happy birthday, David. Aabdur Araman, happy birthday to you. And Mandy Lester today is 42 years old. So lots and lots of birthdays today, boys and girls. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. All right, gang, some final messages coming in there. Elaine says, all cried out. That's the one. You lost your time. Da-da-da-da-da. La, la, you know that song, don't you? That's the one. Thank you, Elaine. Tony wants to wish Jacquii Can happy birthday again. Thank you. Jacquii has recorded one of his songs before. Tony writes songs. So there we are. Okay. Tony also reckons Israel do have a decent chance. I agree. Israel does have a very decent chance of winning that song contest tonight. I hope not, because I think it's dreadful. I think it's ghastly, that song. Absolutely ghastly. But that being said, it is popular. It is popular. Right. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Probably round about... about 11:30 tomorrow. I should be with you, hopefully, tomorrow morning, okay? Now, just a reminder, tomorrow night we start a brand new karaoke night over in South East London, and that is at the Pyrotechnics Pub, 39 Nunhead Green, London SE1 3QF. That's where the karaoke is tomorrow. It's an old pub. How would I describe it? It's not modern in any way, shape or form inside. Okay, it's a very basic, friendly. It's a nice place, but it's quite old and got old. And because it's old, it's got the old leather settees in there, which are the most comfortable chairs that you ever sit in. It's not like an all-bar one, you know, wooden chairs and tables, and you're moving around, you can't get comfortable. It's got those old leather chairs, but it is a bit old in there, just to let you know how it is. And we're hoping to have a really good night in there. Nice early one for you as well. If you work on Monday mornings, you won't have any problem with that. Okay, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m, and you can have food and all that in there as well. The Pyrotechnics in Nunhead. That's it today. Thanks ever so much for joining us, boys and girls. Good luck. If you've got any money on any song at all, then good luck for the Eurovision. And, you know, if you're not sure who to vote for, Suri from the United Kingdom would be delighted to have 1 or 2 votes tonight. She really would. Have a nice day. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.